What's going on, YouTube? Today I bring my first 2022 NFL mock draft. We're going to be looking at that just for today. If this is based off of my record and playoff predictions from my previous videos, if you didn't check those out, make sure to go ahead and check those videos out if you want to watch before this. But without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off with the number one pick, the Houston Texans landed this pick, and I think right now I have my money on Spencer Rattler as the number one pick next year. Now, there is definitely no consensus number one right now. I would say the favorite is Sam Howell. However, Sam Howell, he has favorable traits to be a quarterback, but I think he had a very big supporting cast there at North Carolina, especially this last year. And there are definitely some, inconsistencies with just his core mechanics and stuff. Accuracy is definitely there, but the number one pick for me right now is going to be Spencer Rattler. Maybe a bit undersized when it comes to a quarterback, but I really do like, his athletic ability that he does bring to his game, as well as he has very good mechanics and he's an accurate passer. I think he's a really good player, and I see him landing as the number one pick next year for whatever team's here. In that case, it's the Texans, and obviously they won't have Watson, so they'll need a quarterback next year. Moving on to the number two pick. Lions at number two still get Sam Howell, who many people have the Lions at number one and getting Howell. I think he's a really nice fit. I don't think Jared Goff is the future, and I think this year's going to prove that. They'll be looking to immediately get their quarterback of the future. Like I said, he's extremely accurate. He does have pretty good athleticism, but the core mechanics are just not there sometimes. Had a very good supporting cast at North Carolina, and also just, at times make some stupid plays. But overall, still a very good prospect. And for the Lions, a very good fit. Then at number three, we have one of the best corners that I've looked at since Jalen Ramsey, and that's Derek Stingley Jr. This guy's been elite since he stepped onto the field for LSU, and that's saying something considering now he's playing with Ellie Ricks. He still looks just as good. This guy is a special talent. He's going to go really, really high, and I think the Eagles could really use him. I think they need to adjust the defense, especially after next year, and Derek Stingley would be a great step forward with that. Then moving on to number four, we have the Jaguars taking Kayvon Thibodeaux, is how I believe you say it. This guy looks elite. I mean, the Nick Bosa, Chase Young of this class, he looks really, really good. He could even become the pick over Stingley, or maybe even one of the quarterbacks, because he just is that good. He is just elite at rushing the quarterback. Favorable size. This dude's really good and would be a great addition to the Jaguars defense. Then at number five, we have Kyle Hamilton going to the Panthers. The Panthers are not only going to need some corner and safety help next year, but Kyle Hamilton, man, this guy is just a freak, as I list down there. I mean, for his size, he moves extremely fast. Like, it's really scary. He'd be a great fit with the Panthers here, who would need secondary really badly. And Kyle Hamilton, this guy is a scary player. Then at number six, we have the Bears taking Kedon, I believe is how you say it, Kedon Slovis. He's had a pretty up and down career at USC so far. Really meh year in his first year, which was kind of disappointing as being a five-star recruit. And then last year, of course, with COVID and everything, regardless of that, did suck pretty badly. But he has the talent. He definitely has the skill. We've seen that. There's a reason he was a five-star recruit. I expect him to get back on track, and I think he'd be a really nice fit in the Bears offense. And I can see him working out pretty well there. Again, has the talent, but is definitely not shown at these first 2 years. And they're going to need a quarterback because Dalton is there for 1 year and is not the answer. Then at number seven, we have the Raiders taking Christian Harris, a special linebacker from Alabama. Another one of those guys that, he's heavier, he's bigger, but he moves so quickly for his size, and he's just such a consistent tackler and a really scary threat. He's easily the linebacker number one in this class for me right now. Number eight, we have Drake Jackson to the Bengals. I really like what this guy's shown so far. He has an elite run stop ability, which I really like. And the Bengals are going to need some defensive help, especially since I don't think Trey Hendrickson is going to be nearly as good as he was last year. And getting Drake Jackson may not only improve the defense, but help Hendrickson out as well. Then at number nine, we have Kyer Elam, is how I think you say it, maybe Elam. I haven't looked at this class a ton, but Yeah, to the Jets, I think he's cornerback number 2 right now. I really like the skill set that he brings. Is really quick and will stick to you like glue, as I put down there. And they're going to need some corner help pretty bad. They already need it, but they're definitely going to need it next season. So I really like him here to the Jets. Then at number 10, we have Evan Neal to the Steelers. And this guy is just, again, another freak in this class because, God, he's so big, but at the same time, he's so athletic and so just like he's powerful, he's quick, he's agile, he's athletic, he's big. I mean, this guy is an amazing offensive lineman. I don't know if he's quite Penei Sewell, but he's easily the best tackle in this class as of right now, and he is a scary, scary player. The Steelers are going to need a lot of offensive line help next year. Again, like they do, they need it now, but even next year, this guy would be a great start to rebuilding that offensive line. Then number 11, we have the Giants taking Desmond Ridder. I really liked Ridder. I think he has the potential to jump up into the number 1 overall pick spot. He kind of reminds me of Joe Burrow. But I really do think this guy has a high ceiling. I think he has a lot of potential, and I think at this point the Giants are probably going to be wanting to move on from Daniel Jones, and I really like the floor as well as the ceiling for Desmond Ridder. He's a safe prospect to me, but at the same time can hit that big potential. So I think he's a really nice pick here for the Giants, besides one other guy, probably the most ideal sized quarterback in the first round. Then at number 12, we have the Falcons taking George Pickens, who is, in my opinion, the best receiver in the class. Now, I know some might go with Justin Ross, but I prefer George Pickens, especially with the Georgia connection here. I really like the skill set he brings. You have Calvin Ridley, who's more of your route-running, intermediate guy. Julio Jones is getting older, and he's maybe gone any year now. George Pickens would be a great fit for this offense. Get them a really nice weapon to replace Ridley, because Ridley would become Jones at that point. And I really love his jump ball. I think he's really good at that. So he's my wide receiver number 1 right now in this class, and I really like him there on the Falcons. Then at number 13, the Broncos take Zach Harrison, who's a really intriguing prospect for me because this dude is so versatile in the way he can play. Because, if they want him for a defensive end, let's say Shelby Harris doesn't have a great year, Draymond Jones doesn't live up to expectations, they can slot him in right there. Or even if he's just a rotation piece, he's going to be a damn good rotation piece. Here's the thing, though. If he beefs up maybe 20, 30 pounds, this guy can play defensive tackle just as well as defensive end. And that's not only scary, but he can also play like outside linebacker. So if they want someone to replace Von Miller or, again, a rotational piece, this guy's just so versatile. I think Vic Fangio could work wonders with him, and I really like the fit here for Denver, so that is the pick. Then at 14, you have the Vikings taking Zion Nelson. They're going to need some offensive line help pretty badly next year. Besides Brian O'Neill and Garrett Bradbury, and O'Neill's kind of been meh recently, their O-line needs a lot of help, and I really like Zion Nelson. He's a pretty agile for his size. He's not the most powerful blocker in the world, but I still do really like him. He's my tackle number 2 right now, and I think he's a good fit for the Vikings. Then at 15, we have the Jets with their second pick due to the Jamal Adams trade, taking Justin Ross, who some might say is the number 1 receiver in this class. I think he's number 2. I still do really like him. Just as George Pickens, he has that aggressive downfield catching ability, as well as the route running, and also some nice speed to him as well. Jets are going to need an upgrade even with Corey Davis. At that point, they have Rashad Perryman. I don't even know if he's there anymore. Jamison Crowder's all right, but I do like Justin Ross on this Jets offense, and I think it's a nice pick here. Then at 16, we have a guy who I could very well see hopping up into the top 10, maybe even top 5 picks, honestly, if he plays better than Kayvon Thibodeaux. Marvin Leal shows some really big upside, and the power to his game is just amazing to watch. And, a bit undersized. However, I think, he still shows so much power from his game. This is a guy that, either may be very underrated in the draft or could hop into that top 5 talk. I really like him in here, and he's great for the Dolphins at this pick. So I really like DeMarvin Leal. That's the pick here for the Dolphins. Then at number 17, we have Aiden Hutchinson, an interesting prospect. Because, last year he could have come out, or even this year, this draft he could have come out and probably would have been, a 3rd, 4th, maybe 2nd round pick if he was lucky. But I think he made the right decision to go back to Michigan for one more year. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if many other people are going to have this guy in the first round, but I really do like the potential that this guy holds. He has a really big arsenal of pass rush moves to use on you. He has very ideal size, too, for a defensive end. I think he'd fit really nicely on this Cowboys D line, and I think this is a guy that could easily hop into first round conversation next year. Then at 18, we have the Eagles taking Brenton Cox with their second pick from the Colts from the Carson Wentz trade. You got to get a linebacker at some point. I know that the Eagles don't like taking linebackers in the first round. I know it's not the biggest need, but I really like Brenton Cox. I was really sad when he didn't come out this year because I was so excited to see him in the NFL. I think this guy's going to be a great linebacker. I think he's pretty underrated as well. Another guy that could sneak up in that top 10. And honestly, if he plays well enough, could overtake Christian Harris as the number one linebacker in this class. Really nice side, but again, good speed for that size as well. He's a consistent linebacker, and I really like him here for the Eagles. Then at 19, we have the Saints taking Garrett Wilson. I know a lot of people are probably going to have Chris Olave over Garrett Wilson at this point. I expect Garrett Wilson to have a very good year, actually. I think he could play better than Olave, and Olave could even slip down some draft boards. Just kind of one of those predictions that there's not a lot of basis off of it, but I just think Garrett Wilson's going to be really nice there for Ohio State this year. Kind of depends on the quarterback there, of course, but I do really like Garrett Wilson. Kind of reminds me of Devontae Smith in a way, but can make those big plays. Catching, not just off of screens. So yeah, I really like what Garrett Wilson brings to the game, and I think he'd be a good fit for the Saints. Part of the reason why I took him over Olave is I think he's a better fit on the Saints than Olave is. But then at number 20, we have Washington, who might not need a quarterback because they might draft one. Maybe Taylor Heineke works out for them. But right now, I think I'd really like them taking Tyler Shaw, is how I believe you say it. Maybe it's Shaw. Replacing Justin Herbert was going to be a tough task because, after the way he played, there's going to be a lot of expectations on this guy now. And right now I have him like number 5 in the class. He's more of a guy that I just am going to predict to have a pretty good year. Definitely, he doesn't even have to come out this year, really. Maybe he should because there's a lot of good talent on the Oregon team this year. But yeah, he has really nice mechanics. He's not the most athletic guy. He's definitely not going to make the big plays. He's not going to wow you, but I think he can be a serviceable enough quarterback to get the job done. That's really all Washington needs right now. So I like him here for Washington. Then at 21, the Chargers take Sevyn Banks out of Ohio State. I think this is the quarterback number 3 right now. He could honestly slip down. Ohio State corners have not been working out the best recently. Of course, like I've said, though, it takes a few years for them to get going, but they need corner help pretty badly, and this is definitely the best corner available at that spot. So I like him here on the Chargers. He'll go pretty nicely across from Chris Harris Jr., and in the future could even take over Chris Harris Jr.'s job. It's a big need for the Chargers, honestly, and I think he's a good fit with the Chargers. Then 22, we have George Karlaftis to the Ravens. I really like the fit here. First off, he'd obviously be replacing Campbell or Wolf, who are both older guys on short deals, but the power that this guy possesses is really nice and pretty good size as well. Another guy that really can sneak up there in the draft, if he has a good year. So I'd be keeping my eye on this guy. Again, could be a top 15, maybe top 10 pick next year if he plays well. I like the potential this guy holds. He is more of a D lineman, not really an edge, but that's fine for the Ravens here. I think he's a good pick, good fit. Then in 23, the Eagles, with their 3rd pick of the draft, which they got from the Dolphins trade, take safety Bubba Bolden, who to me is the safety number 2 in the class right now. Really good. He's more of a strong safety, although he could play free safety if, maybe he lost a bit of weight, or really doesn't need to. He's just not the fastest guy in general, but still a very strong safety, makes the big plays, pretty big hitter as well. This is really an all-around type of guy. There's not a lot to pick on him about. He just doesn't make the wow plays, so I don't know if he's going to go that high, but I do really like him on the fit here with the Eagles, and again, they're going to need secondary help pretty badly. So I think this is a good pick here for the Eagles. Then at 24, we have the Patriots taking Chris Olave. Not only do I think Olave is an amazing fit in the Patriots offense, but they still kind of do need receiver of the future, especially after 1 year. They signed Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar, but I don't really see them being the guys of the future for them. Julian Edelman's getting older. They're going to need some receivers, and I really like Chris Olave, a really good route runner. I don't know if he'll have that great of a year. I think, like I said, I think Garrett Winslow is going to be, or Garrett Wilson is going to have a better year, but I still do like Chris Olave. I like him a bit more if maybe he got his weight up a bit. But then at 25, we have Sheridan Jones to the Titans. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna. I think he's gonna have a really good year, especially with Darion Kendrick gone now. I think he's gonna step up and take leadership, and really kind of explode this year. Now, obviously not explode that much because he's here at the 25 pick. But yeah, Titans need corner help really badly. I really like the tool set that this guy possesses. He's really good in man coverage, but pretty decent at zone as well. And yeah, like I said, the Titans room is just bad, and this is the best guy at this point. Then at 26, we have the Cardinals taking John Mechie III. Yeah, Alabama. They are from Alabama. They could use a pretty good young receiver. They signed AJ Green. I don't know if Larry Fitzgerald is going to be there next year or the year after that. Well, definitely not the year after this, but I don't even know if he's going to be here next year. Besides DeAndre Hopkins, they really just don't have much at receiver. They have a few younger guys, but I list here they could use a good young threat. Those guys are not good. Andy Isabella's a failed project, in my opinion, and I don't really like the other guy, whatever his name was, Kirk something. Yeah, really solid route runner here from Alabama, and another guy that can really explode up these draft rankings now with got the two receivers this year that I'm forgetting right now for some reason. But, once those guys are Smith and Waddle, once those guys are done, he can climb up the boards really high and may go way before this. Again, could be the number one receiver in this draft. So we'll see how that goes. I like the fit on the Cardinals for him. Then at 27, the Buccaneers taking Malik Willis, another guy that's had a pretty interesting career so far. However, I really like some of the tool sets on this guy. He's very, very good at reading the defense already, which is just something that, is hard to teach sometimes. But, I think going in there and being kind of in a Tom Brady scheme, because obviously, Tom Brady wouldn't be there for much longer, but it's designed for him. I think going into that kind of a scheme, Malik Willis could play really well. Have him maybe sit behind Brady for his last year. Yeah, I think I like the potential on this guy, and he could fall. There are a ton of different guys that can go into the first round. Realistically, a lot of these guys can fall out of the first. So yeah, who knows? But I do like Malik Willis. I like the potential he holds, and I like him learning behind Brady for a year. So here for the Buccaneers. 28, we have Nolan Smith. They're going to need some defensive end help. They already don't have a right end, but their left end is an aging, already not good Frank Clark. They're going to need a replacement for him or someone across from him. And I do like Nolan Smith. I really like the tool set he possesses. He's really solid. Got overshadowed a bit by Ojulari this year. I think he's a great fit on the Chiefs team and a needed position. 29, the Lions get this pick from the Rams for the Matthew Stafford trade, and they take Rasheed Walker, who is the third tackle, in my opinion, in this class. Really good run blocker, as well as very good power behind his game as well. Favorable size at the position. Maybe could be a bit bigger, but, like I said, he's pretty agile, but also exceeds at power. So, yeah, he's a really good all-around, pretty good tackle. They could use a guy at right tackle, and really this is a guy that you can even switch to guard if you want to. So, yeah, I really like him here for the Lions. 30, we have the Browns picking Ventrell Miller, who is the number 3 linebacker to me. I don't think this guy's going to be the number 1, but he definitely could sneak up into number 2 if Brenton Cox or Christian Miller has a bad year. I really like him here. They're still going to need a linebacker. Anthony Walker is going to be good for a year, but I could see them definitely even upgrading this year, but for sure next year. On a team that really doesn't have any weaknesses, this would probably be the weakest position. Really good in the run game, so I like Ventrell Miller. 31, the Packers picking Nick Broker. They're going to need a tackle after losing Wagner and or I don't know if they lost Billy Turner, but they're going to need a tackle regardless. Another guy that really, really good in the run block. Can even switch into the offensive guard if you want him. They lost Lane Taylor, so really good fit here for the Packers, and I like him. And with the last pick of our draft, we have the Bills taking Perrion Winfrey. They could use a star at like that defensive tackle position. This guy, really good size, really, really nice power. He could have, again, another guy that could have a really good year and sneak up way farther in this draft than he is here. I like the potential on him. And again, they could use a starter there. I like the fit here for the Bills. But that is my 2022 NFL mock draft. Let me know what you guys thought down below. Don't forget to leave a comment, leave a like, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see all you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.